All right. It's Monday, August
Good morning.
7th. Good morning. It's the Intentional Spark Show and Tell, episode 8. 8 straight weeks coming to you live. We're 2/3 of the way through our guarantee of 3 months of this. So,
Yeah. And I wasn't here last week.
but we kept it going. Yeah, Meg's back.
I'm back.
Where were you, Meg?
I was in Park City for
Nice.
Tony's sister's bachelorette party. So it was
Very
very fun.
So this week we have a couple different topics to talk about. I also changed up something on you too, so we'll see what you think of that.
Did you not tell me that
No.
this changed
No.
since last week? Okay.
I haven't told you.
Okay.
Okay, but first up, this is something we've been talking about ourselves. Working remotely, home versus co-working space.
Big topic as a small business owner and someone who,
Yeah.
can work virtually anywhere because working in a home office is very appealing. It's cost effective, but
What's hard about it? Yeah, Meg, tell us what's hard about working from home.
I mean, it's just the separation of your personal life and professional life is very, there's a very fine line, and it's even finer when you work from home and having that dividing line and, shutting down at the end of the night when your laptop is just right there in front of you and you can log in at any time. I think for Tony and I, as husband and wife, it adds a layer.
A layer.
A layer. But yeah.
A layer.
A layer. Yeah. So I think, with the home office, it is cost effective. It's convenient. You don't have to do any commuting. It's your own space. You don't have to go out and buy lunch. You have your kitchen right there. There's a lot of benefits, but a co-working space will get you out of your house, have that separation, allow you to network with other like-minded
True.
business owners, build your connections in the small business community that you live in. Also, I think, the downside to a co-working space is, and we've talked about this, is the price of them.
Yeah. They can be really expensive.
Really expensive. I know WeWork is one in Portland, and for a corner office in this, I wouldn't even call it an office. It's basically a closet with open air space, but it was $1,300 a month.
Yeah, I think that was like 2 seats. For 2 seats and your own space at WeWork, it was like $1,300 in Portland. It comes with free beer on tap, so if you drink enough, it might work out.
Probably could drink about $1,300 a month.
Look, once again, Meg has drifted slowly off the camera. Everybody make a chat whenever Meg drifts.
I'm just trying to get my space in this home office.
Oh, nice callback. It's very true. We work closely together, and I think, how to end the day. Like when you go to a co-working space, you start the day by clocking in the office, and you kind of end it when you leave. Whereas in your home office, I think you need to be a little self-directed and motivated if you work from home. You need to be able to say, like, I'm working now. I'm not going to be relaxing. TV's
you have to
off.
put pants on if you go to a co-working space.
Major downside.
I say it's the budget that's really, causing me to not join a co-working space, but really it's the pants.
It's the pants. It's the pants. Hashtag pants factor.
Yeah.
It'll be trending after this episode. Yeah. But yeah, so I think for us right now, it still makes sense to work at home, but it's something we're still wrestling with, like how to actually, sign out and really have clear boundaries between work and home when it is so easy just to keep working because your office is your home.
Yeah.
But I think it's up to every person. I think having a co-working space definitely can make it feel more real.
Yeah.
Having a business, like you're going into an office, you're seeing people every day.
Probably a little more focused because you don't have the distractions of your home. I mean, sometimes when I'm procrastinating on a particular project, I'll be like, oh, I need to go clean that room or, do some yard work. And
that's easy
you don't
to
really
do.
have that in a co-working space, although, you do have the distraction of other people you could socialize with. But, there's pros and cons to each. And if you do work in a co-working space, I would love to hear, your thoughts on it and what your experienas have been.
Yeah, and if you work from home.
So.
Yeah, this is a topic we keep talking about, so we'd love to hear what you think. A lot of you work remotely.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah, we've been doing our business freelancing and then Intentional Spark for close to 3 years now, and I feel that this is always a topic that gets brought up probably every couple months is should we, shouldn't we? And we haven't yet, but the article that we read this week definitely
4 years.
4 years.
4 years freelancing plus Intentional Spark. Yeah. But anyway, that's something we've been talking about and keep talking about. And I think it's a really interesting topic of how you manage yourself. Anyway, let's get into some of the digital marketing topics this week.
Let's do it.
Brand Spotlight, Amex. They did something cool. We wanted to give them a shout out. They had a campaign, and they really geared it towards, it was specifically for online users. They didn't take a TV spot and put it on Facebook ads. They didn't, put it on YouTube. They actually made something specific for Facebook. And what they did was they created an ad, and a lot of Facebook ads start on silent. And so what they did is they wanted to only give people who engage with the content the benefits. So they said, you better, the text that came on the video was like, if you pay attention, you're going to get something special. So if you actually turn the sound on,
or something.
Yeah, are you listening?
Yeah.
And if you clicked on it and turned the sound on, they then offered the first 50 people to comment free tickets to a Guns N' Roses concert that was happening in town.
Yeah, I think it was if you can name this artist.
Yeah, that's what it was, the lead singer.
And so it was geared towards people who actually turn their volume.
To hear the song.
Yeah, turn the volume on to the ad, because they actually did a study recently that 90% of people listen to Facebook videos on silent. And it's true. I mean, Tony and I, we'll be sitting in bed sometimes, and I don't want him knowing that I'm scrolling through Facebook and looking at weird cat videos, and so I'll turn the volume off.
Cat videos, they're all dog videos. Meg only watches dog videos.
They don't have cats are kind of big right now. I feel like dogs there's just not as much dog content.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a drought. There's a space
shortage.
There's a dog shortage. Interesting though, and what we liked about this is they made something specific to Facebook. A lot of times big brands don't necessarily give, the digital channels the specificity they need. You really want to make something for each platform. Each platform's users interact differently with it. This goes back to Gary Vaynerchuk 3 or 4 years ago talking in Jab, Jab, Right Hook about you want to interact with the community on each platform the way they are used to interacting. So don't do an Instagram style post on Facebook. Do a Facebook post on Facebook. So on Facebook post is a video ad just for Facebook users, and knowing that, the sound's off, trying to bring them in, turn the sound on.
Yeah. And it was rewarding those individuals that did engage with their ad. And then, what I think that does is in the future, now that people know that, those individuals receive the reward, they're always going to be, when they see an Amex video, they're going to be turning on that volume and tuning in. So it's going to ultimately boost their engagement in the long run, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's good to see a big brand doing that. I mean, we do that a lot with our own companies and clients. But that's on a smaller scale. These large brands where they're not even necessarily trying to get opt-ins, they're just trying to get brand awareness. So it's really cool to see them doing some of those strategies. Local digital marketing. We hear a lot from people, who don't necessarily think they can do online marketing the way other companies can because they're local. They have a brick and mortar business, or they only service clients in a certain area. We actually have, a few local clients who can do a lot with local digital marketing.
Yeah, and I think the concern that a lot of small businesses working in their local community, the big concern is that they don't have the budget to put out these massive campaigns and grow their audience a ton. But I think that there are some advantages to being a small local business in the marketing world. And so the article that we read, I don't know if you want to pull it up on the screen, Tony.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat at the end.
Yeah, but I think it's a great read if you are running a small business or a local business. And, basically there are things that work really well for these types of businesses, such as, running social media ads that are targeted to your geographic region, running search ads that are targeted to your geographic region, and then also working with local influencers, which is huge because, a lot of these bigger brands that run international companies, they have a really hard time because they have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars just interacting with or trying to get large influencers with millions of followers on social media to do brand shout outs or sponsor posts for them. Whereas, a lot of these local brands can really tap into their local influencers that don't have a ton of followers, but, their followers are all within their city, very engaged. And so there's a lot of return and reward on that. So,
and because, not a lot of people are doing it well, at least locally, I think, what's the company that you love with Popcorn the dog?
Oh, the Timber, the Popcorn.
Timber,
I don't even know.
Look, there's this adorable company, and they, I think it's a popcorn company, right?
Yeah, it's a popcorn company in the Northwest, and
they've had a puppy, right, since the beginning.
Yeah, it's a golden retriever puppy, and basically, like, the puppy is the mascot of their brand. But because it's a business run out of the Northwest, hiking is huge here. Anything outdoors, a lot of lakes and rivers, and they always have like the puppy with all the
popcorn. It's like puppies sitting in popcorn, puppy eating popcorn.
Yeah, they know their audience and they target their local community.
And it's super cute. And it's it's nothing like any of the other local companies are doing. It makes them stand out and gives them personality. And I think it's something that's pretty easy to do if you just 5 minutes a day. If you just make it promise to yourself, how can we do this a little differently?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it before. But just, adding more personality and who you are, don't be worried about offending people. If you're a little edgy or you're funny, do that. You'll attract a lot more of the people you want as opposed to, scaring off other people.
Yeah. And one of, as far as working with local influencers, here in Portland, restaurants are huge and it's such a big foodie city. And so a lot of restaurants, if they're launching a new happy hour menu or they're just opening for the first time and they want to spread local awareness. There's a lot of people on social media, Instagram, people blogging that always write about, their love for food in Portland. And so the restaurants will actually target those local influencers and invite them to their launch parties and say, hey, we'd love for you to come and taste our new menu and use this event hashtag. And, these are people with maybe 2,000 followers on Instagram, but everyone who follows them lives in Portland and also loves food. And so, by that person going to their launch party and putting a post out about it or an Insta story about it, it drives huge awareness.
It works on us. We'll be like just online and all of a sudden we'll see 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 people we follow, specifically for Food Thoughts in Portland. All of a sudden they're talking about the same place. And we're like, man, everybody's talking about this place. We got to go check it out. We got to check this place out.
Check it out and see how it gets rated on Yelp. And so I think, there are a lot of opportunities there to work with local influencers without having to put down thousands of dollars.
By the way, that's free.
Post.
A lot of companies will work with PR agencies to get those influencers there. Mm-hmm. But a solo restaurant or brand could reach out on their own to influencers and offer them, we're having this special event. It's, open beer tent for VIP guests. You're a VIP guest, come on in. Maybe it's a local outdoor store, right? And there's like, come on in. We're having like an outdoor celebration day. Here's your VIP bracelet. Have fun. Next thing you know, you have like 5, 10 influencers.
Yeah, just direct message a bunch of people on Instagram that are posting content that's similar and aligned with your brand. And so
and we see this not just locally but on all of our campaigns, national campaigns and everything. It's not necessarily the largest audiences that you need to get. If you can find someone that has 2,000 followers but they're all local in your area and they're all kind of highly engaged with that person's content, that's better than getting someone with 100,000 people but it's like they're all over the place. They're not necessarily following them for a specific reason. If you have an account, if you're a restaurant and you find an influencer that has 2,000 followers, but they're all people that love restaurants, that's much bigger and more successful than kind of a general campaign.
So anyways, awesome article to check out if you're a small business owner and looking to engage with your local community. So we'll post it in the comment section as a follow-up after today's Facebook Live. So.
Yeah, and then here's the new thing I added that Meg doesn't know about. I changed what we're listening to this week, just for this week, to what we're watching.
Oh.
And
it's like Game of Thrones.
We're going to talk spoilers, but first,
no spoilers.
Before we talk Game of Thrones, we'll just say one other show we're watching. We've always loved it. What are we watching?
We're watching like 50 shows.
What's the one show we watched like last night that we've been like loving?
We watched like 4 shows last night.
All right, Meg's not.
We do have social life.
Meg's not helping. Jane the Virgin.
Oh, Jane the Virgin.
No one believes us, but we've been fans since we started it. I think after season 2 ended, we've been binging it.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
Awesome show. It's an English telenovela, basically. English speaking telenovela.
Like,
not a British telenovela. English speaking. It's American. But it's awesome. Some of my favorite characters. It's the best show. No one believes me. You can laugh at me. I don't care. Definitely watch that.
Team Rogelio. That's all I'm going to say.
Team Rogelio.
You only know if you watch it, but.
And Game of Thrones. Maybe you should hang up if we're going to talk about Game of Thrones now. Yeah, I'd say sign off now. We're done talking about anything else. But quick Game of Thrones.
No, there's not going to be any spoilers. Just watch last night's episode.
So good. We couldn't even sleep for like 2 hours after. We had to watch like other shows to take us down from that high.
Yeah, I think I need to go back and rewatch.
I'd rewatch it.
Yeah.
Just the scene between.
Just the final 10 minutes.
The final, that was like 20 minutes. But even that, there were so many scenes before that. Slight spoiler.
I was amped up.
Arya.
What about her?
Her and.
Oh yeah, she's badass.
Such a badass.
Yeah.
That was one of my
What does this have to
favorite.
do with marketing?
This is what we're watching.
It's just okay.
This is a great example of how you can add personality to your own marketing brand. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think of that?
I like it.
We're real people.
Just be sure when you watch Game of Thrones to turn the volume on. A lot of, I don't know. I was trying to like loop it back into the Amex, it didn't work.
See, it can be hard. It can be hard to talk about your.
Yeah.
Anyway, big fans of Jane the Virgin and Game of Thrones. Couldn't find two shows that are more different, but lots of drama and soap opera-ishness in both.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my thoughts. Meg hated this segment. Probably won't do it again.
No, it's because I didn't know about it. You kind of threw me a curveball there. I would have had more to talk about.
Well, this was the Intentional Spark Show until episode 8. Every week for at least 3 months, we're going to be coming on Monday, live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, to talk about digital marketing from the past week and the upcoming week, along with other shenanigans we might be interested in. So
other segments that your business partner just throws into the mix without
keep it fresh,
forewarning you.
Yeah, but comment below. We love interacting and hearing your thoughts. Especially, we'd be curious about the working from home versus working remotely. Working from home versus co-working space. Yeah, love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
All right, until next week. This is Meg and Tony from Intentional Spark. See you guys.
See ya.